Our heads in silence, prayer. Let's face the flag, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
May be seated. Clerk, if you'd take the roll.
Lehman. Here. Kodak.
Here.
Cassidy.
Here.
Baker.
Here.
Grine.
Here.
Mendoza.
Here.
Guernsey. Here.
I'll move to excuse President Shaver.
Second.
Motion to excuse Council President Shaver. Motion by Mendoza, second by Lehman. Okay.
Lehman.
Yes.
Kodak.
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Grine.
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey. Yes.
Everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion approved by Podak, second by Baker.
Lehman.
Yes.
Kodak.
Yes.
Cassidy.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Grine.
Yes.
Mendoza.
Yes.
Guernsey. Yes.
Motion carried. Communications,
I have none.
reports of committees, Finance Committee.
Nothing new to report. However, the next meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 19th at 5:30 p.m. in council chambers.
Public Affairs,
The city of Fostoria will host 2 community events in early May. The National Day of Prayer will take place tomorrow, Thursday, May 7th, with a 10 a.m. service at Good Shepherd Home Chapel and a 6:30 p.m. gathering at the downtown green space with a rain location at Fostoria Church of God. The event will include community choirs, prayers led by local leaders, and student participation. Touch a Truck Day will follow on Saturday, May 9th from 10 to 2 in downtown Fostoria in partnership with the Fostoria Farmers Market. The event will feature a sensory-friendly hour from 10 to 11 a.m., live music at 11, and a variety of vehicles, activities, and vendors for families. There are also a few reminders. Registration is open for the 2026 Fostoria Glass Pageant. The entry fee is $30 and submissions must be completed by May 20th at noon. And residents are encouraged to stay connected through the city's new notification system for official updates and alerts. Thank you, that is all.
Law and Ordinance Committee.
Nothing new to report. The Law and Ordinance Committee will meet again on Tuesday, May 19th at 5:15 here in council chambers. Thank you.
Okay, report of officers, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a successful city cleanup last Saturday. Unfortunately, a few people did not follow the rules, which will force us to re-examine how we conduct cleanups in the future if we continue to hold them. The Fostoria Community Arts Council will be presenting a one-act play, Ruckus at the Roundhouse, written and produced by Browning Payne, at the Women's Club on Friday and Saturday nights, May 15th and 16th. Friday night will be a dinner theater with tickets costing $30 each, and Saturday night will be a performance only at $15 per ticket. Contact the Arts Council for tickets. Thank you.
Mr. Director of Public Service and Safety.
Thank you, Mr. President. So next week, we will be attending the Tree City USA Awards in Maumee. Fostoria has been awarded Tree City USA again for the 44th year. And we also, for the first time, have gotten a growth award, and a lot of that is connected to the U.S. Forestry Grant and the ODNR Forestry Grant that we received, and the big projects downtown and the elimination of the hazard trees and all that great work really was Maddie's work on that grant and managing it and getting the companies in to get rid of those trees. And now we're in the next phase of recommended removals. The first one were hazard removals, and this ground that we're doing currently are the recommended removals while we still have the grant, which goes, I think, through the end of 2027 currently. And I know next week, tentatively, weather dependent, as we've seen here lately, the new trees are supposed to go in downtown. And then I think the following week is the schedule for the flowers that go in the downtown area as well. So so that's all some pretty good fun there, and we're really making great headway with these two grants, especially the one that allowed us to do the inventory of all of our trees and then to remove all the hazard trees. Really, with this weather we've had this spring and the big winds, it's really shown to have made a huge difference in the damage that we've had. You're still having it, but not to the extent that we've had in the past. So I think that is the news I have for right now, and unless anybody has any questions about anything else we have going on, but that's it for me. Thank you.
Ms. Director of Law.
Thank you. I have no report tonight.
Mr. Director of Finance.
Thank you. Couple things quick. Do have some legislation out of the auditor's office here to appropriate some funds from the from unappropriated funds into the general fund for buildings, and it is for final plan design costs out at the airport terminal. That's $19,000, and also as part of that ordinance, we're asking to move $2,500, just a transfer within the fire donations fund from other contractual services to operating supplies. They're going to order some smoke detectors and CO2 detectors. Just needed to move some money there. I would also ask that we waive the 3 readings for that tonight if we could. The only other item I had for this evening was we're going to be working with RETA, the Regional Income Tax Agency we work with for our income taxes. They do non-filing delinquency letters for us. So anybody that hasn't filed that they deem should have, based on history, or if they've gotten information from the federal government that they might have had some tax documents, they'll send out letters. It's part of what we pay for the service with them, so it doesn't cost us anything extra. I just wanted to let everybody know in case you get some individuals calling on what's this letter I get. So it's, if they don't need to file, it gives them instructions on what to do. If they do, it also gives them phone numbers, websites, and things to get a hold of so they can get their returns filed. So going to work more with RETA. They also do then a second step. If we want to, there's a little bit of a cost to that one. So we're going to do some more research, but they can also send out administrative subpoenas kind of as a follow-up to the delinquency letters. Basically just asking the same thing for the individuals to get their returns filed. So we'll look more at that, and I'll present something in the next finance meeting, and we'll go from there on that. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along, we're going to the public sector of our meeting, and I've got Deb Tyson listed here to make a presentation.
Well, I'm pretty happy with Fostoria as a whole. I think that we need more citizens to come forth and be here in some form, if not physically, but reach out to their council members or administration so that we don't have all the negative comments we have on social media. If you don't understand something, ask a question. Listen for the explanation. You may not agree, but if you don't have the explanation, then you shouldn't be complaining because you may not know both sides of the matter. And I see a lot better transparency with everybody. I still have some things I don't agree with, but I get my explanations. Um, if it's something really important, I come and speak about it. But sticking to facts, asking the questions, and doing it privately rather than coming up here and making a big show, I think is a better way to handle. And also, it's a better use of time in the long run because one-on-one, how I feel about something and how somebody else feels about something might be different. But if we can get an explanation, maybe we can kind of come to an understanding why something is working the way it is. And I know there's a lot of things going on that are going to be coming up that I'm not going to agree on, but I'm counting on all of you to be available that I can reach out to each and every one of you. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have other people who want to address council? You know the routine.
I know the
Your name,
routine.
your address. Tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Jill Filiator, 402 West Culbertson Street. I'm just going to touch base real quick on the exciting things that are happening over the next few weeks and months, and a couple of things that I hope that we are going to be looking at. As you all know, come July, we are expecting to have probably close to 30,000 people coming down the road for this wonderful big boy all day long extravaganza. And I know that the city is working very diligently to make sure that we've got transportation, shuttle buses, the whole 9 yards to make this one of the hugest events, because you know that the park has limited parking, but we're going to make it so it's going to be a wonderful, beautiful event. My concern is we're going to make it a wonderful, beautiful event, but we also need to then make sure that we have our downtown ready to be inviting to all these people that are going to be here. And I do believe you will have at least 10 to 20,000 in here for this event. That's how big this project is, because you're going to have it for the whole day. A lot of you do not understand that the rail is one of the biggest things that is being seen when my husband does power outages. They watch the reel and they are, oh, you're on the Iron Triangle. So it is a very popular a site, destination site. So we need to make sure that we're ready for this. My concern is that we don't have the downtown quite ready yet for people to be down there. And I know we're working diligently to get the trees in and get the ambiance in and getting the local folks so they understand how important it is to have their businesses open during the weekend time frame. So we do need to make sure. I am hopeful that we will have the splash pad finished and the Inclusion Park opened for that time frame, because it'll be a wonderful thing to have that exposure and everything else all at the same time. I do not know what our timeline is for that. I know that we are supposed to be having it opened by then, but I do not know where we're at on that status. But it is something that we probably, as the council, might want to follow up on to see, because we do want to represent ourselves really well. Now to my bigger concern, however. My bigger concern, and I shared with it, I have experienced an issue with transients coming from Toledo now and hanging out in the downtown area. I have reached out to the police in regard to my concern. I find it sort of concerning that we have them coming in down from the Toledo area. I don't quite know why they're coming down from the Toledo area. I know that they're increasing their securities, but we do need to be aware that that is happening in the community, and maybe we can get some further. I know that the chief is working with us to make sure that there's more, I'm trying to say, rounds at nighttime to make sure that we can address it. But I did find it quite interesting that they're not my locals. We had a couple locals, one's in the nurse, but we had couples before. This is a whole new genre of people that are down here, and there's about 5 or 6 of them. And being that I own 2 businesses down here, I'm more reticent of that and aware of that. So I just want to bring that to attention that we want to make sure we address that. And that's all I have. You guys have a good one.
Rumor has it that they come down to Fostoria because they're trying to get the Mud Hens to start playing down here.
Well, that's a good idea.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Rochelle Harmon, and I live at 304 East Brown Road in Arcadia. And you're probably wondering again, why am I here from Arcadia? But I do have a legit reason to come to you tonight. So my husband and I have talked about me speaking tonight, and he wanted me to come and talk to you about the farmland for rent on County Road 23, and it's approximately 16 acres, and it's right by Reservoir number 5. My husband's family farmed it. We believe maybe in the 70s as the earliest, but most likely in the 80s. And I don't know when my father-in-law stopped farming it, but my brother-in-law farmed it from 96 to 2013. We currently farm across from this land, and we bid on it on April 5th, 2023. However, whomever got the rent on June 10th, 2023 was using a tractor and damaged the tile culvert and hit the telephone poles and was on the road right-of-way. In October 25, the weeds were so high and tall and bad that when they, you know how weeds get and then they seed out, where does that go? On my farmland. And it causes a problem for me and my husband and our family. My family would like to farm or lease this again, and I've reached out to Maddie a couple months ago because, as I stated earlier, April 5th of 2023 is when this would have been bidded out then. But here we are in May now, and you're asking it for the third reading tonight. But either way, I do have pictures of some of those issues I described, and we just ask that regardless of who gets the bid this year, please follow the contract guidelines. I believe in the contract from the old one that we had from 2023 that they are supposed to take care of the weeds. And I don't remember the exact date either of this, but I'm pretty sure that at some point in time, maybe around 2022, my husband and I offered before this person took over the lease to mow the weeds down for that person who quit farming it for a while. And we'd be happy to help out. We really would like to lease it. And you know, we have prior history to leasing this farmland. So I will pass around the pictures for all of you to look at if that's okay. And these pictures first ones show the culvert damage, and I'm pretty sure the safety service director now, who was mayor then, was aware of the issue, but I'm sure council was not made aware of all of the issues exactly. And some of you are new to the council and didn't serve then. So you can see the pictures of that, the telephone poles and the road right away, and then some of the weeds. And I'll start with Sue Lehman. You're welcome. That's really all I have. I don't know if any of you have any questions for me, but I have spoke to Maddie, and my husband and I would like to get a packet when it opens up for bids. And she should have my number on file, or my email too. And I am aware, too, that there is a drainage easement on that land as well, with the farmland across from it that we farm on. Hence why the pictures were taken. We wanted to see the damage that would affect us, if any.
That pole looks like it got hit by equipment, of course, but it lost a little bit of its top edge there, but
Yeah.
doesn't look too bad.
No, but still. Shouldn't have been on the road right away.
It's what?
They shouldn't have been on the road right away. That was too far over, obviously.
I think the owner of the property that drains off that catch basin, I think he took it upon himself and marked that pretty clear. I doubt if there will be another incident with the catch basin.
It was clearly marked before this incident. Yeah.
I think if you've been in touch with Maddie, you'll probably get a packet then after we get this passed, so
Okay,
should be
thank you.
good to go.
All right.
Greg, do you want to see the pictures?
I'm aware of what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think he's here. But you can ask.
Thank you for your time.
Did you sign in, by the way?
Yes, I did. And
Okay.
I was on the agenda to speak.
Okay. Are you Mr. Sheeter?
No.
Okay.
My
I
name is
had
Jeff
him on the
Cantrell.
list. Apparently he's not here. Go ahead.
Jeff Cantrell, 424 Westridge Drive.
Would
Moose
you,
Ball.
would you please sign your name
I
and
did.
on the sheet? Oh, okay. Okay.
On the other side, Jeff.
All right, sorry. So first of all, I want to commend all of you for doing what you do. My father was on city council in Gibsonburg for 16 years, so I know none of your jobs are easy. So I'd like to commend you for that. My question is, this week I reached out to Amy because there was people in my yard marking, it's mine, thank you, marking, I don't know what, sewers and drains, I guess. When I approached them, they said they were measuring for sidewalks in the neighborhood. So Amy says she would get an answer. I don't think we got a clear answer at all today.
And I was
And-
gonna reply back to you later because I spoke with the mayor before council to get a little bit more clarity. Still nothing like super substantial, but more likely for the safe routes to school.
So it is going there? Is that, I mean, the reason my biggest reason is that I'm not against safety. My reason is I have irrigation in my yard. I don't want somebody
Well,
surprising me because
there are right-of-ways along all of that area, as you're probably aware. We think it may be the safe routes to school. People, they're in the planning stages right now and looking at it. The other possibility is there's also a company in town that's putting in underground cabling for internet connection.
Mhm.
And so it could be them as well.
Well, they did mark that as well. It was a pink, I believe it was fiber optic. They marked a telephone pole. So that was somebody else that did that.
Right.
But these gentlemen came twice this week, yesterday and today. They came again today, later in the afternoon, and they were actually on the other side of the street from me at Lucius's, doing the same measurements.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've kind of heard from, we're
Yeah.
going to do it. We don't know if we're going to do it.
We don't know for sure because right now they're in the planning stages for that project,
Mhm.
and part of it's going to depend upon how much money and how far it goes as to where all the sidewalks can go. We have a pretty good feel for where it's going on like Summit Street and Vine Street,
Mhm.
and where it will cross Van Buren Street. But as far as out in your area, I'm just not sure.
Yeah. Because, I mean, honestly, in my neighborhood, all the kids go to Calvert or Arcadia. There's no kids, but I understand that's not always going to be the case too. So, if we're going to talk about safety, let's talk about my stop sign from last year. Neighbors running the stop sign on the 613 and the speed coming in on 613. I've complained about this pretty religiously. Eric probably got sick of seeing my emails.
It's really happy to see the speed
Yeah.
sign radar out
Yeah.
there earlier this year.
Right. So, I mean, last year I even had a driveway put in, and I called for maybe a little bit of presence from the police department to see, because it's a dangerous intersection. I got nothing. So, I mean, Alex, you live in my neighborhood, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, if we're gonna talk about safety, I'm cool with it, but let's speak it all the time, not just when it's revolving around sidewalks. I'm cool with the sidewalks. Do I want my yard torn up? No, but I do understand it. I've seen kids stay on the curb or on the berm because they think I'm going to yell at them. I just say, get off the road. I don't want them getting hit either. So it's a dangerous intersection. Speed is 55 coming into there all the time. So
Not the speed limit, the speed.
yeah, that's what they're coming in as. And like I said, I really I don't have kids. So I don't have little kids running around, but there's plenty in the neighborhood that are going to get hit. And then this will be a different discussion, unfortunately. So anyways, Eric talked to me a little bit before the meeting about the plans with Joe. So hopefully Joe can let me know for sure. Because it's not, I gotta call about the irrigation, and they're not going to come that day to move it for me. I didn't put the irrigation in case anybody's wondering why I put it that close. It was there prior to me, so.
So, yeah, and that's what we talked about. I didn't have an answer right away because Joe was not in this week so far, and I knew he'd be in. I actually thought he was coming in today, so we'd have an answer. Joe's been running since he's been project manager. That's his first foray as an LPA working with ODOT on that project. We walked the project to look at where all the sidewalks were going. I don't remember it going out that far. I thought it pretty much stopped at Burnham Drive because that's where a crosswalk is going to go to get the kids from the south side to the sidewalk that runs along the cemetery. Is kind of part of the plan is to get them so that they can have a marked crosswalk there that would have the lights so that, and I might have to double check on that too. We didn't want the one that stayed on all the time, only one we're going to cross. So it didn't start to get ignored because there was no kids there. But in my walking with the group from ODOT and the plans that I saw, those sidewalks on that south side stopped right around Burnham Drive. But we're going to double check with Joe when he comes back. And then we'll get a hold of Jeff, let him know for sure where it's going to be.
So if it goes in front of my house in 613, are you going to go down West Ridge too? Because if it's safety, then there's no sidewalks on that street anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it goes down that far. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see for sure.
Just
That's not how I remember it because we had to take some sidewalks out because we didn't have enough in the grant to cover all the sidewalks that we're going to build.
All right.
So, but we'll let you know. And then Gabe and I worked together once. We started hearing from your information out on 613, other people 613. You've seen those signs moved to various parts of towns. People have reached out to us about speeds. Gabe's done a nice job of assigning people to sit in different areas with police cars, monitoring speeds, writing traffic tickets. It's too bad Barb isn't here tonight to attest to the number of cases that they've gotten since they've been running radar on a regular basis. So we did go about our business very quickly after that. I regularly see officers sitting out there either in the area of the cemeteries, one of the two cemeteries,
and that's
monitoring
by the
speed.
time they get there, they're monitoring the speed a lot closer. I'm talking about when they get to where all my neighbors run the stop sign. They're coming in 50, 55 all the time. Semis, like I said, it's not there. I've lived there 13 years. Alex, how often am I on my front porch? you know how many police officers I've seen pull over a car in front of my house? One. It was a state patrol in 13 years. That's pretty amazing because he knows how much I'm on my front porch.
Well, I just didn't want it to stand that we somehow ignored what you were saying about speeds, especially, and other people in the community that talked about speeds because we are actively.
Right. I understand. I haven't heard of it so bad that they went to the police department and the courts did and said, hey, no more tickets because it's getting overwhelming at the court. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I was told that as well, which is concerning.
I don't know that that's the case, but
Yeah.
I do know that we've had those conversations that there is a lot more business up here in the court from officers writing tickets.
And I did have one thing from one of my neighbors who asked if apparently before I lived there, speed bumps were on Westridge at the stop sign. So I don't know. I don't know that.
No,
I had
that's
somebody
not-
ask me that.
It's not something that we've really done as speed bumps.
Was it there
A
before?
lot of times they cause more problems than what they solve.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's me. I'm saying somebody else brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard on equipment.
It's
all right.
tough on vehicles, and we're responsible for that when they, damage. Our
Yeah.
vehicles.
If it was right at the stop sign, though, it'd be fine. Because then it would stop. So, all right, cool. Appreciate it.
Anybody else wish to address council? We're going into old business now.
An ordinance adopting the revised Fostoria Personnel Policy Manual, repealing prior inconsistent policies and declaring an emergency to exist.
That'll be the third reading.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to adopt by Lehman, second by Baker. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion passed. This will become ordinance number 2026-31.
Sorry.
All right.
You may continue.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the 2026 street resurfacing program, including pavement removal, surface planning, tack coat, and surface course of certain streets in the city of Fostoria, Ohio, according to specifications to be on file in the office of said mayor and declaring an emergency to exist.
And that is the third reading of that legislation.
Move to adopt. Second.
Move to adopt by
Right.
Grine, second by Podak. Clerk can.
Lehman,
take the
Yes.
vote.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion carried, and that will become ordinance number 2026-32.
An ordinance granting consent to the Director of Transportation of the State of Ohio and authorizing the mayor, on behalf of the City of Fostoria, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as the Local Public Agency, LPA, to enter into contracts with the Director of Transportation necessary to complete described pavement repair projects and declaring an emergency to exist.
And that is the third reading of that.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Lehman, second by Baker. Clerk, if you'll take the vote.
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion carried. That will become ordinance number 2026-33.
There's a couple of different spots to sign on the back, but I'll help you with that when you're ready. An ordinance authorizing, directing, and empowering the Director of Public Service and Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the lease of 16.5 acres of farmland adjacent to Reservoir Number 5, the terms of which are now on file in the office of said director, and declaring an emergency to exist.
And that is the third reading for
Move to
this
adopt.
legislation.
Second.
And I have a motion by Bodak, second by Grine. Clerk, you may take the vote.
Lehman,
Yes.
Kodak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion carried, and that becomes ordinance number 2026-34.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-77, correcting the legal description and declaring emergency to exist.
And that is the third reading of this piece of legislation.
Move to adopt.
I'll second that.
Motion moved to adopt by Mendoza, second by
Guernsey. Guernsey.
Guernsey. Okay. Clerk can take the vote.
Oh, sorry. Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion carried. That becomes ordinance number 2026-35.
A resolution authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, to enter into an agreement with the county of Seneca, Ohio, for sewer services and declaring emergency to exist.
That will be the second reading of that legislation.
A resolution adopting the Community Housing Improvement Program, the CHIP CHIP Policies and Procedures Manual, Revision 2-4 of 2026, and authorizing submission by Great Lakes Community Action Partnership, the GLCAP, to the Ohio Department of Development, Office of Community Enhancements, and declaring emergency to exist.
That will be the second reading on that. Moving to new business.
An ordinance amending Section 311.01 of Chapter 311 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Placing Injurious Material or Obstruction in Street, adding a subsection and penalty section regarding grass clippings.
That will be the first reading of that.
An ordinance enacting new section 1125.16 of chapter 1125 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Tents or Others Unpermitted or Makeshift Shelters Within City Limits.
That is the first reading of that legislation.
An ordinance enacting new section 145.09 of chapter 145 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria, Ohio, entitled Regulation of Parklets Within the City Rights of Way.
That concludes the first reading of that legislation.
An ordinance amending section 145.06 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fostoria entitled Departments to Develop Smoking Policies and declaring emergency to exist.
Concludes the first reading on that.
An ordinance adopting and amending ordinance number 2025-83, permanent 2026 appropriations by appropriating from unappropriated funds in the general fund and transferring appropriations in the fire donations fund and declaring emergency to exist.
Move to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions.
Second.
Motion made by Lehman, seconded by Podak to suspend the three reading rule on three separate occasions.
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza, Guernsey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'll second it.
Motion to adopt by Mendoza, second by Guernsey.
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza, Guernsey.
Yes.
And that will become ordinance number 2026-36. And I believe that concludes legislation. Any need for executive session tonight? Okay, seeing none, moving to miscellaneous.
I just had one thing for miscellaneous. I'd like to thank the administration for all their work in getting things to us timely. If anybody noticed, of the 12 ordinances that were read tonight, 11 of them we're going to go through full reading of 3 readings. The only one that's not is the one that the finance director asked us to approve, which, that's going to happen from time to time. So 11 out of 12, I'd say that's a pretty good batting average. Thank you.
Spirit of that, maybe against that a little bit, but I think we should maybe consider suspending the readings next meeting on the regulation of parklets, just in the spirit of what Ms. Fillier said about, influx of people coming in June or July. Thinking through the timing of this with 30-day waiting period and all that, it's going to push it up against that timing for businesses to be able to get permitted and build these structures or whatever. If they want that, it would add some capacity to some of the downtown businesses. So it's not an emergency. I think we'd have to wait for 30 days. So if we go through 3 readings, we're talking about the beginning of June and then the 30 days. So we're right at July, and then they've got to get permitted. So just something to consider for us for next meeting.
Mr. President, I'd like to read a proclamation. Whereas motorcycle riding has become a popular form of efficient transportation and recreation, and whereas it is important that the drivers of all vehicles be aware of one another and learn to share the road, and whereas the safety hazards created by motorcycles who fail to watch for motorists who fail to watch for motorcyclists on the streets and highways are of prime concern to motorcyclists, and whereas it is especially important that the citizens of Fostoria recognize the importance of motorcycle safety, and whereas the American Bikers Aim Toward Education of Ohio is an organization that is actively promoting the operation, training, and awareness of motorcycles, and where it is important to recognize the need for awareness on the part of all drivers, especially with regard to sharing the road with motorcycles, and to honor the many contributions motorcyclists make to the communities in which they live and ride. Now, therefore, I, Donald Manell, Mayor of the City of Fostoria, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month in the City of Fostoria and ask that all drivers look twice for motorcycles on our roadways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I have something under miscellaneous. Today's a special day for Fostoria. Today is the kickoff of the Morning Trekkers. The people, it's organized by the Gary Foundation and ProMedica. And all you have to do is walk around the reservoir and they'll take your name and They'll give you a free T-shirt that shows that you're an official member of the Wednesday Trekkers. I'd like to also add to that the fact that this is beginning the 7th year, I believe. It's a great way to meet some of your fellow citizens, catch up on the local gossip. In my case, I'm kind of a conduit. I'm the guy who receives the complaints. But anyhow, it's a good bunch of people out there. It's good for you to get out and walk, and I encourage participation. Mayor, do you want to reread that proclamation?
He's a little late.
Mr. Sheeter, I have stalled this meeting for 20 minutes waiting on you. Right on.
We'll present it to you after the meeting, okay?
Is there any other miscellaneous?
Mr. President, I think I'll jump on this bandwagon. I would like to congratulate Council President Brian Shaver, although not present this evening, on winning the Democratic primary for Ohio's 5th Congressional District and advancing to face incumbent Bob Latta at the November general election. I think it's safe to say, I can speak on behalf of all the council, that we wish him the absolute very best moving forward for Fostoria.
Agreed, and I was going to add that myself if you hadn't, because it's quite an accomplishment for somebody that basically came out of nowhere and really had a great showing, and it was well done. So congratulations to Brian.
Very impressed.
It's kind of consistent with our tradition here in Fostoria, if you stop and think about it. Hadn't been for Fostoria, where would Calico Charlie be today? Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion by Podak, second by Baker. Clerk, take the roll.
Lehman,
Yes.
Podak,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Grine,
Yes.
Mendoza, Guernsey.
Yes.